Hi, everyone. It's Arena McWilliam Lopez with 1623 Studios, and I'm joined here today by Kyle McWilliam Lopez, the Executive Director of the Northeast Chapter of the American Red Cross. We do have the same last name because we are married. So thank you to my husband, Kyle, for joining us today. Yes, thank you for joining us in these remarkable times of being quarantined.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
I know we're all feeling the strain and the feeling tired from being isolated and everything like that, but I'm happy to be here with you.
Excellent. And I guess we'll probably have to apologize in advance. Some potential background noises may occur from our 4-year-old. Hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, Kyle, to start out with, for those that are not familiar with the American Red Cross, tell us the mission.
Sure. The mission of the American Red Cross is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies. And we do that by the power of volunteers and by the generosity of donors.
That's very inspiring. And particularly now in this pandemic, what are the ways that the Red Cross is responding?
Well, it's an absolute privilege to serve this mission, and there are a number of ways that we're rising to the challenge of this unique time. Number one, blood collection. We were hit with a severe blood shortage at the onset of COVID-19. We rallied pretty hard, and there's been a huge outpouring of support by the American public, and we were actually able to stabilize the blood supply. But that need is ongoing. The need for blood is constant. The Red Cross provides 40% of the nation's blood supply, and someone in this country needs blood every 2 seconds. So it's something that we will encourage, or continue to encourage the American public, as well as our local residents here in the Northeast, to schedule a blood donation with the Red Cross. The easiest way to do that, by the way, is to either download the blood donor app or go to redcrossblood.org and try to schedule an appointment further out if you can.
So that is pretty incredible. I just want to clarify. So a couple of weeks ago, I think I heard, Charlie Baker talking about this. A lot of people were talking about how there was a critical blood shortage. And so now you're saying that's been stabilized. Is that correct?
Yes, we were able to stabilize the blood shortage. Actually, Charlie Baker and his wife actually came out to our facility in Dedham and donated blood. So it's great to have the governor's support. I've been reaching out to local electeds, and a number of our local elected officials have been extremely supportive and even gone out and given blood themselves as well.
That's amazing. And I think the first question is it safe? I'm assuming it is. But can you talk
totally
a little
safe.
bit about some of the precautions that the American Red Cross is taking for people that are donating their blood?
Sure. Number one, it is safe to give blood. There's no data or evidence that shows that the virus can be transmitted through a blood transfusion. But in terms of the safety protocols that we've implemented at blood drives, we're doing a lot of the things that everyone's doing in terms of social distancing. We're staggering the appointments so that there are less people at any one blood drive at any given time, so that they're not large gatherings. And our workers are wearing face masks now. When people present initially, we take their temperature to make sure that they don't have a fever or anything of that sort. So that, and then of course cleaning. We are making these blood drives as safe as possible.
That's great. That's great. That's really important. And so Something that I keep reminding myself, although these are very difficult times, in a situation like this, we actually see a lot of innovation. And so something that the Red Cross is involved in, which is really exciting, and it looks like it could be a major innovation, is what the Red Cross is looking into with blood plasma of survivors of COVID-19. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we are joining the efforts of the U.S. FDA and other blood partners to help identify, collect, and distribute convalescent plasma. There have been some positive signs that show that people who have fully recovered from COVID-19 may have some antibodies in their blood that could potentially be life-saving in helping those who are critically ill recover from the illness.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully there's some good signs that come out of that. And so
absolutely.
last question is, any calls to action that you might have, either from things that have happened recently that are like bright spots for you, that would be just little messages and ideas of hope to our community?
Yeah, I'm seeing some other really important areas that we're doing amazing work in have to do with food insecurity and then disasters, both big and small. And so, in the realm of food insecurity, we operate a food pantry in Boston, which is serving more than 1,000 people weekly. We're doing mobile drop-offs in the greater Boston area, and we've entered into a partnership with the Boston Public Schools to help feed hungry children. Um, uh, so there's that. We're working with our government partners to identify other areas across the state that may be suffering from food insecurity as well, and exploring potential missions, if you will, where the Red Cross could play an important role in distributing food. So that's going on. And the other thing is that disasters, other types of disasters, are not stopping just because we're in this unprecedented time. And so right here in Massachusetts, we experience 2 to 3 home fires every day, and we have volunteer teams that respond to the home fires, just like a fireman would. And we're there to provide comfort and support and immediate assistance to those families, and then help them begin the difficult process of recovering from a terrible event like that. So we're committed to our disaster relief work, and we're going to continue to respond to things like that. Uh, Disasters, both big and small, are still top of our mind. And those are just some of the things that the Red Cross is doing during this time. And yeah.
That's very inspiring. Difficult to think about the increase in food insecurity. Obviously, some really heartbreaking stories, but also very comforting to know that there are folks out there that are mobilizing and making sure that people can have what they need, especially the essential things. So thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time, and thanks for all the good work that you do.
Well, you're quite welcome. And hey, you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an excellent job at home and taking care of the family. Uh, and everyone at home, anyone who's touched by this, my heart goes out to you and your family. And uh, we're all in this together. So take care.
Yes, agree. Thank you so much.